All right, good evening, everybody. Welcome to another live stream on WooEnglish, as always. My name is Hamza, and I will be your host. And today we are going to have a very interesting, but at the same time, I know a very controversial live stream. So today we are going to try and do a listing about the Russian-Ukrainian war that's going on and that has been going on for a little while. So what we will try to focus on today is simply Ukraine. So we'll talk a little bit about Ukraine, and then we'll try to talk about the origin of the war ongoing between Ukraine and Russia. Yeah. So I really hope that people will be a little bit like chill today. I know it's very controversial. I know we cannot satisfy everybody. There are always people who will not be happy with a certain like topic that we are discussing, and we would love to remind you that basically Woo English is a channel for learning English. So we hope that you guys will be chill today, and I want to always remind you, Arsenal, this is for you, man. This is for you. So, want to tell you that we are completely neutral. This is not opinionated. We are not aligned with anyone. We are just like giving you the information, giving you some English to learn. Our videos are not opinionated. We don't represent any opinion. But we just try to make some stories that are interesting for you guys. We know a lot of you want to learn English and want to learn about actual topic, not just any topic. Like they want to learn about what's going on in the world. That's why we choose some topics that are ongoing. So we would love to ask you, of course, to kindly like this video. We are going to discuss the Ukrainian and Russian war today. Yeah, so we hope you guys. I see Marinho. Thank you so much for the sub. We really appreciate that. Arsenal, hello, and I hope you are doing great. Tito, hi, how are you doing? And finally, Photografia, hello and welcome. And I hope you two are doing great. So, as I said, I'm just a chill guy, so no need. Yes, yes. That's why I said earlier, this is for you. The disclaimer was for you because you noticed that we have been putting a lot of disclaimer. Hello from Poland. Hey, uh, Cam. I'm gonna call you just Cam because I can't pronounce the whole word. So welcome to the live stream. Welcome everybody. And yeah, can you guys tell me what are you from, or where are you joining the live stream from? So that we can. Hello, Victoire is here. Hey, Victoire. I hope you are doing great. I know, as I said, I know this live stream is very controversial. A lot of people are supporting this side or this side. We simply want to give you some information. It's a little story, kind of, and we want to focus on learning English. Okay, that's what we want to focus on. This is not to give an opinion or support an opinion. Basically, I'm going to say an opinion that is personal. I don't like any kind of war. No one wins in a war. All right. Whether it's the war between Ukraine and Russia, the war between Palestine and Israel, the war in Iraq, and whatever. No one wins from. Everybody loses in war. Okay, I think this is my conviction. This is my personal conviction. There is no winners in wars. All right. So simply, we wanna give this like it is a listening, basically like in general this is a listening activity, listening live stream, and we want it to be that for today. I know why I'm giving all these only America wins. Sure. Well, not America, but war factories, war factories, basically. Great, Victoire. Thank you so much. I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Neutral, kind of. All right. We try to be. We try to be. As I said, we don't support any in either side because we don't support war to start with. We don't support war. Everybody loses in war. Russia is losing. Ukraine is losing. They are losing people. People are being killed. So without further ado, let's start today's live stream. I want to start with a little quiz, or I want to start actually with the table of content. This is what we will do, and this is what we do every day. So for people who are joining our live stream for the first time, this is basically what we do on our channel. Woo English is a channel dedicated to learning English through stories. We believe that you should learn English through context, and the best context is stories. But sometimes we try to cover some like actual or actuality, what's going on in the world. We want you to learn English and know what's going on in the world. This is why we are talking about Ukraine and Russia. We'll try to learn some English through that. And today we are going to learn a little bit about Ukraine. I'm going to ask you some questions. This is for listening. You are going to train your listening today. This is what I wanted to focus on. Training your listening, okay? Your listening skills and reading as well. Then we will try to see just the beginning of the conflict. We don't want to go into the conflict itself. With just the beginning. How did it start? Why is Russia and Ukraine fighting right now? So this is what we want to start with. And then we will try to learn some language, some grammar, some vocabulary. This is what we will do today. So let's start. Ukraine. So this is the first thing. What is the official language of Ukraine? So I just want to know, guys, what do you already know about Ukraine? Victoire, aren't you from Ukraine? Victoire, we support, let me see. We support Russia and Ukraine at the same time. Sure thing. Very, very neutral is it right? Yes, we say neutral. Someone not. I'm gonna give you Ukrainian. So, uh, uh, neutral is the opposite of. I'm gonna teach you a little word today. Is the opposite of biased. All right. So if you are neutral, that means you don't support any side. But if you are biased, you are supporting one side. Okay, biased. Biased. So neutral, biased. The opposite of neutral is biased. Shiraz, hey, how are you doing? Shiraz is joining us from Tunisia. Okay, so do they speak Russian, Ukrainian, Polish, or what is the last word? Belarusian. So a lot of you guys say B, yes. Ukrainian have their own language, but Russian and Ukrainian both come from the same language, believe it or not. They come from the same language. So we can see people are fighting, but their languages are connected. And even the people, I would say, even Ukrainian and Russians, both are Slavic people. So both they belong to the same thing, I think. So if this is wrong, you can correct me in the chat. And I wanted to do this today. If you see any information you don't agree with, you can correct it in the chat. We can discuss it. Number 2, which of the following is a traditional Ukrainian dish, a meal like food? Which one of the following is a Ukrainian dish? Is it all right, sushi, borscht? I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. If there are any Ukrainians here, please correct me. If there are any Russians, please correct me as well. Okay, taco or croissant? Which one do you think? A, B, C, or D? I think this one is quite clear. B. Hey, Mo Sambarwa. Hey, how are you? Ahsanul says B. Okay. And Cam says B. Great. Guys, is the image clear for you? Can you see it well? Can you let me know if you can see things well on the screen? If not, I can change like the display. All right. So are things clear on the screen? If yes, let me know. And please, as you are watching this video, please don't forget to like it. When you click that like button, it really does wonder because it recommends the video to other people. So we really appreciate. Carol, hey, how are you? Tito says B B B B B. All right, that's not a choice, by the way. That's not okay. I think this is better. All right. Yes. So the right one is borscht. Again, I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. If not, you can correct me in the chat. And this is it. It's a kind of soup. All right, so this is a meal that is well known in Ukraine. People who are from Russia, you can tell me if you guys have this too, because I'm not sure. I know it's Ukrainian meal, so you can tell me if this is this exists in Russia or in any other country. Please let me know in the chat. Number 3, what is the capital of Ukraine? I think a lot of you will get this one. 5-5, great. Make it black. That would be better. Which one? Make it black. What is the capital of Ukraine? Is it Moscow, Warsaw, Kiev, or Minsk? Again, what are we doing right now? This is a live stream, a listening live stream. You are going to listen to a text. And today, I'm going to give you a bonus. We are going to do 2 listenings today. Kiev, okay, wonderful. Kiev, C, okay. Kiev Fotografia, Arsenal says C, wonderful, guys. You strawberry with yogurt. Okay, maybe you don't like it. I'm not sure if that's strawberry, by the way. I'm not sure if that's strawberry or tomato. You guys can tell me. As I said, I've never tasted that. Let's see. It's Kiev for sure. It's Kiev. It was a beautiful country. It was a beautiful city. But after the war, unfortunately, it was destroyed. Unfortunately, this is why I said there are no winners in war. Unless, like Arsenal said, unless war or weapon sellers. Those are the only people who win in war. People who sell weapons. Those are the only people who win. Which of the following is a famous Ukrainian dance? Flamingo, hopak, salsa, or ballet? Again, these are just like warming up. We're just warming up right now, okay? We're just warming up so that we can get to know the country we're talking about. All right. So, as I said, WooEnglish is a channel dedicated to learning English through stories for people who are just joining. We teach English through stories. Every day we post one video, a long one, that you can listen to while you are driving, doing the chores around the house, whatever. You can listen to them. If you have some time, you can listen and read at the same time. I'm going to demonstrate this today. You can listen and you can read. And you are training your listening. At the same time, you are learning vocabulary in context. Great. You guys are doing a great job. I see D, I see B, I see D also photografia, D, B, Coral says Kopak, okay. Arsenal says D, meaning ballet. Okay, let's check. Let's check. The correct answer is hopak. Again, if I'm not pronouncing it correctly, sorry. This is it. It's a dance and it takes a lot of skill. It takes a lot of skill. You need to be very strong bodied to perform this dance. Like the jump, look at the jump. It's a very high jump. Look at the like the athletic skills here. That's an amazing jump. All right, next question. I hope. Oh no, no question. Vocabulary now. Vocabulary. So we are going to learn some vocabulary so that when we listen, you are going to understand the word. So I have A and B: legacy, deteriorate, resilient, prosperity, and tumultuous. Tumultuous. Let me check the pronunciation of this word. Sorry, I didn't check it before. My goodness. You see, can you do that, Arsenal? Can you do that? Tumultuous. I think this dance exists also in Russia. Oops. Let me wait. Okay, this is the exercise because I showed you the correction of the exercise. Okay, so tumultuous. Yes, tumultuous is the last word. Tumultuous. So which one? Yeah, sorry. Shiraz, can you repeat your answers? Because I changed the order. Because in the beginning, I showed you the answers. I showed you the answers. So, legacy, deteriorate, resilient, prosperity, tumultuous. The definitions: able to recover from difficulties, to become worse over time, full of conflicts or disorder, wealth and success, finally, something handed down from the past. All right, now we are talking. C is one. So ethanol says C is one, meaning prosperity or resilient, able to recover. Shiraz says A is number 5. Let us check. A is 5. Legacy, something handed from this. Okay. Shiraz also says B is 2. Okay. Victoire, I think you are a little bit late. If you can scroll to the front a little bit. B is 2. All right. Great. Great. So let us see the correction. I don't want to spend a lot of time here. So, and I will explain the word. So, legacy is something handed from the past. A legacy basically is what you are known for, your image, what you are known for, your legacy. What did you leave? All right. So, for example, when someone dies, they leave behind them a legacy. All right. This is one. Deteriorate. Deteriorate meaning to become worse over time. For example, when we become older, our health deteriorates. It becomes we become weaker. So deteriorate is to go down, to become worse. As I said again, when we grow older, when we become older, our health and our body deteriorate. Number 3, resilient. If you are resilient, you can recover after difficulty, meaning that you can if you fall, you can stand up again. Again, why are we going through these words? Because we are going to see them in the video. All right, in the listening, you are going to hear these words. So I want you to understand them right now. Number 4, prosperity is wealth and success. If your country is prosperous, that means that your country is doing great. Finally, tumultuous is full of conflict and disorder. Okay, great. Let's try to use these words right now. Let's try to use these words. I have for you 5 sentences. I'm going to hide my. So no, I didn't say that. I answered the previous question. Okay. Okay. So after years of war, you have the words in the top, you have the answers in the top. After years of war, the country struggled to build its legacy, deteriorate, resilient, prosperity, or tumultuous. You can just write for me one and then write just the first letter. Write L or D or R or P or T. Just write for me the first word, okay? Number 2, despite many hardships, the community remained legacy, deteriorate, resilient, prosperity, or tumultuous, and never gave up. Number 3, the abandoned building continued to legacy, deteriorate, resilient, prosperity, or tumultuous again, due to neglect. Neglect is when you don't pay attention to something. Can you guys help me with this? Yes, thank you. One is T, one is prosperity. I have 2 different answers already. In the 1920s were a period of great economic in many parts of the world. Pro, number 1. Okay. 3 is D. Where is 3? Where is D? Oh, you mean number 3 is deteriorate. Good, good. Arsenal. Wonderful. Wonderful try. Let's start looking at the answers. So number 1, after years of war, the country struggled to rebuild its legacy. Its legacy, as I said, mean its image. So when a country is at war, its image sometimes goes down. So you try to build back that legacy. Number 2, despite many hardships. So hardships are difficulties. So something is difficult, something is hard. So difficulty, hardship, meaning difficult times. The community remained, meaning stayed, what? Resilient, okay, and never gave up. Number 3, the abandoned building continued to, Asanol got this correct, deteriorate. So when we don't pay attention to a building, it starts like going down. It starts losing some parts. It starts having some cracks. So it starts to deteriorate. In the 1920s were a period of great economic prosperity. Prosperity, as we said, is success. And by the way, the 1920s mean from 1920 to 1929. So all of this, we call it the 1920s. And finally, of course, the protests, demonstrations led to a tumultuous situation in the capital with clashes breaking. We said tumultuous is like a situation where there is a lot of chaos. Okay, there is a lot of chaos. Great. Okay, so I hope you guys are following. All right. Perfect. Let me just very quick. All right. Great. So you guys were doing a great job. I'm gonna come back, all right, because I've been hiding my. Okay, so that you can see the screen well. Now let us go and start the listening. So we are gonna start the listening, and I have for you three rules as always. Number one, listen carefully. I'm gonna ask you questions. We are not trying to indoctrinate you here. We are not trying to affect your opinion. You can keep your opinion as it is, okay, about the war or about any topic. We want you simply to listen carefully so that we can ask you question and you can detect the information where it was. That's it. Number two, while we are listening and reading, because you will have the text in front of you, you may not understand some words. Write them for me in the chat, and I'm gonna pause and explain them for you. Number three, don't forget to like this video. That will be the best thing you can do to help this channel. Thank you so much. Let's go to the first listening, and let's go. Let's go. So let me move a little bit forward. Okay.
Ukraine is a place, a divided land.
All right. This is chapter 1 from our video. The video is 1 hour and a half, so we are going to listen to chapter 1, and we are going to get why is Ukraine important after all? Why is there a war in Ukraine? So let's go.
Chapter 1, a divided land. Ukraine is a place full of history. Its land is wide and beautiful, with golden fields and strong rivers. For centuries, it was home to many cultures. People spoke different languages. They sang different songs. But they all called Ukraine their home. Yet, life was not always peaceful. Ukraine is in a special place on the map. It lies between two big powers, Russia to the east and Europe to the west. For years, these powers fought over Ukraine.
Exactly. One of the things why there is a lot of war in Ukraine is that it's between Russia, which represents the East, and the European Union, which represents the West. So it's in the middle.
Who would control it? Who would decide its future?
Unfortunately.
These questions shaped Ukraine's story. In the past, Ukraine was part of the Soviet Union. The Soviet Union was a group of countries controlled by Russia. Life was hard for many Ukrainians during that time. People had to follow strict rules. They could not speak freely. Many felt trapped. In 1991, everything changed. The Soviet Union broke apart. Ukraine became an independent country. People celebrated in the streets. They dreamed of a free and happy future. But independence brought challenges. Building a new country is never easy. Some people in Ukraine wanted to be closer to Europe. They wanted to join the European Union, EU. They believed this would bring jobs, freedom, and a better life.
All right, so this is the beginning, how life was. So Ukraine was controlled by Russia at a certain time, part of the Soviet Union. 1991, they are independent. Some Ukrainians want to join the EU.
But others looked to Russia.
You see?
They felt connected to its culture, language, and history.
Exactly. They came from the same origin, basically.
This created a divide. Neighbors began to see the world differently. Old friendships started to break. In 2013, these tensions grew stronger. Ukraine's president at the time, Viktor Yanukovych, made a big decision. He chose not to sign an agreement with the EU. Many Ukrainians were upset. They felt their future was stolen. Protests began in the capital city, Kyiv. Thousands of people gathered in Maidan Square. They waved flags and sang songs. They called for change. The protests lasted for months. Winter came, but people stayed in the cold. They built fires to keep warm. They believed in their cause. Ukraine deserves better, they shouted. But the government tried to stop them. Police used force. There was violence. Lives were lost. The world watched as Ukraine fought for its future. Finally, in February 2014, President Yanukovych fled the country.
To flee meaning to run away from the country.
Protesters celebrated. They believed they had won. A new government came to power. Many hoped for peace. But this was just the beginning of a new struggle. Russia did not like what was happening in Ukraine. It saw the new government as a threat. In March 2014, Russian soldiers appeared in Crimea, a region in southern Ukraine. They wore no badges or flags, but everyone knew who they were. Soon, Russia announced that Crimea was now part of its territory.
And this is actually part of the issue, is Crimea. This is a small area, I think it's an island, and Russia is claiming that Crimea has always belonged to Russia. Ukraine says, no, it's ours. This is part of the problem.
The move shocked the world. People asked, can this be allowed? But no one stopped Russia. Ukrainians felt betrayed. We lost a part of our country, they said. Anger and sadness spread. After Crimea, the situation got worse. In eastern Ukraine, in places like Donetsk and Luhansk, people started fighting. Some wanted to join Russia. Others wanted to stay with Ukraine. The fighting turned into war. Villages were destroyed. Families had to run away. The beautiful land of Ukraine was now a battlefield.
A battlefield is a place where war is happening. We call it a battlefield. A field is a place of land or a piece of land. Battle is a war. So it's a war battlefield.
The war in the East brought pain to everyone. But it also showed something powerful. The strength of the Ukrainian people. Soldiers defended their towns. Volunteers brought food to the front lines. Artists painted murals of hope. Even in the darkest times, Ukrainians did not give up. Today, Ukraine is still divided in many ways, but its people have a shared dream. They want a country where they can live freely. They want to protect their culture and land. They want peace. This is the story of Ukraine, a land full of struggles, but also full of strength. Its journey is far from over. But as history has shown, Ukraine will always fight for its future. The road ahead may be long, but its people are ready for the challenge. And that is the heart of this divided land.
This is now, we just tried to see what was going on in Ukraine. How did this all start? And what are the Ukrainians thinking? Of course, like any country, not everybody have the same opinion. Some people are for joining the EU. Other people want to stay with Russia. They feel more connected with Russia. And this is basically how it starts, okay? No opinion so far. I hope you guys have noticed that. Okay, let's now see if you guys were listening well. But before, I would love to ask you to please like this video. If you are enjoying it this far, make sure to like this video. That will be a very, very great thing to do. So let's move to the first question. Ukraine has always been an independent country. It's independent and isolated and individual. Is this true or is this false? From the text, Indeed, Sally, that's what we call it in Arabic. Yes, that's what it is called in Arabic. It's a little island and people are fighting over it. Asanol says this is false. Shiraz says this is false. Great. Cam, as I said, I'm gonna call you Cam, so false. All right, let's check. Let's check it. Yes, this is false because in the past Ukraine was part of the Soviet Union. All right, yes. Ukraine's geographical location made it a place of conflict between large powers. Is this true or is this false? Again, from the text that we have just listened to. Victor, sorry, I didn't see your answer, but you are correct. There is a lost part in the story. Can you please tell us, Sally, what was lost in the story? Would love to hear. Uh, Shiraz blocked you. You can't see her. All right. I'm not sure. Uh, maybe I didn't click her answer. All right. F, false. True, says Shiraz. False, says Cam. True, says Victoire. Axel says this is true. And Kid Sally says this is true. Please, Sally, what did we leave out? Can you please let us know in the chat? I would love to learn. Okay, this is true. Ukraine, so this is from the text that we listened to. Ukraine is in a special place on the map. It lays between the two big powers, Russia and East in the east and Europe to the west. And by the way, Ukraine is known for like wheat production, the production of wheat, and that's where the flag, the colors of the flag come. That's another important thing about Ukraine. Its land is very fertile. Fertile means the land, it gives a lot of plants, a lot of crops. It's very productive. So many people are want to be there. Okay, number 3. The protests in 2013 started because the Ukrainian president signed an agreement with the EU. The EU stands for European Union. The European Union. So in 2013, the president then of Ukraine signed an agreement with the EU, and people were not happy. Is this true or is this false, guys? Jalila is here. Hello, Jalila. Very happy to see you today with us. That makes okay. NATO came in borders of Ukraine. That made Russia angry. Indeed, yes. But I think the NATO thing is very, very recent. Okay, it's quite recent. It's almost until like the war started. False. Geographic conflict. Exactly. False. Oksana says this is false. Arsenal false. Victoire false. All right, guys, you are doing a great job. Okay, let's check. False. It's the opposite. So Viktor Yanukovych made the big decision. He did not sign the agreement with the EU. And again, some people want to be with the EU, some people don't want to be with the EU. And that's where a big part of the problem comes from. Okay, great. The conflict in eastern Ukraine ended quickly without any violence. So there was a crisis. This is something we listened to. There was a crisis in eastern Ukraine. It ended very quickly without any violence. Is this true or is this false? There is no NATO convention between, well, but they want to join. But Ukraine want to join, and the NATO want Ukraine to join so that they can, like, they can be next to Ukraine, next to Russia. Perfect. Thank you, Shiraz, for confirming. Jalila, glad to hear. True, false. I see a lot of fluctuation in the answers. There are some that say true, false. Okay. Wonderful. Let's check. The fighting turned into war. Villages were destroyed. Families had to run away. This is the Crimea island war. So they were fighting. This is from the text again. They were fighting, Russia went into Crimea. They said, this is Russian land. Some Ukrainians like this. They wanted to be part of Russia. Some Ukrainians did not like this. There was war. It was not without violence. It was very violent. People were unalived, as they say today. The Ukrainian people showed resilience and strength despite the conflict. We said, what is resilience? Resilience is like the ability to stand up after you fall down. After big crisis, people could recover. It's recovery. True, false? What do you guys think? I think the answer is quite clear. Putin felt threatened by the NATO to have Ukraine part. Exactly, exactly. It's basically a kind of Cold War. Are they dumb or enjoy war? They are not dumb and they don't enjoy war. It's simply people want to impose their opinion. All right. Imagine me and you, Asano, live in the same neighborhood. I have an opinion, but you have a different opinion. And I want to impose my opinion, and you want to impose your opinion. And that can start a war sometimes. True, true, true. Shiraz, Cam, and Ivanova says, "Oh, you guys all say this is true, and it is indeed true. Soldiers defended their towns. Volunteers brought food into the front. Exactly. So people were helping the soldiers, and even artists were painting murals. Mural is a big painting that we put on the wall. We call it a mural. Wonderful. All right, let's check this. What event, this is by the way from the text, what event happened in 1991 that changed the future of Ukraine? The Russian invasion of Ukraine, the collapse of the Soviet Union, the beginning of World War II, or the Ukraine joining the EU? Which one is it? Resistance. Yeah. As I said, so far I'm saying no to war, any war. As I said, and I will keep saying this, no one in war, there are no winners. Everybody loses in war. Okay, even the people who win, they lose. They have lost a lot of people. B. Where is Tito? I think Tito. You didn't say B. Where is the big no? It's a huge no. I want to ask you guys a question. If your country is going to war, would you go and defend it? If your country is joining a war, would you go and defend it? Jalila, I think you are a little bit late. If you can scroll to the end of the video so that you are watching it live. B, Kid Sally. All right. You guys all agree on B, and you guys are correct, because the other ones, the beginning of World War II, come on, that has nothing to do with Ukraine. What was the main reason for the 2013 protests in Ukraine? The decision not to sign an agreement with the EU, the high unemployment rate means percentage, the Russian invasion of Crimea, or a natural disaster. There was a natural disaster and people were protesting. A, B, C, or D. You can just write for me the letter. Yeah, I asked you a question, guys. If your country your government decides to go to war against another country, would you guys agree with this, or you would protest to stop it? I'm going to say, no, I don't want no war. We don't want to go to war. You can answer both at the same time, of course. A. Okay. You guys are saying A. Everyone says A. The decision not to sign. Yes. So 2013, there was protests. What was the reason? A, B, C, or D? You guys, most of you say A. Sally says C. The Russian invasion of Crimea. That will happen later, actually. So in 2013, the reason was the decision of the president then not to sign an agreement with the EU. So some people said, okay, we don't want to join the EU, but others were very unhappy. They were very angry. They said, hey, if we would join the EU, we will have a better life, better jobs, better education. But he did not sign the agreement, and that was for them a big problem. All right, next question. How did Russia respond after the Ukrainian government changed in 2014? So in 2014, the president fled. Flee is to run away. So The president did not sign the paper. He saw that people were very angry, so he decided to run away outside of Ukraine. So the government changed. Russia was watching this, and how did they feel? Or how did they respond? It sent economic aid, they helped them economically. It announced that all of Ukraine was now part of Russia because you have a new president. It sent soldiers to Crimea and claimed it as Russian land, or it welcomed Ukraine into the NATO. This is, hey, you can go to the NATO, Ukraine. I will, exactly. This is what I want to hear you guys say. Shiraz says it depends. It depends on what, Shiraz? Can you tell me? Sally says, I will defend my country. What if your country is the oppressor, the one who starts the war? And you guys says he went to Russia. No way. I see. So he was siding with Russia, probably. That's why he decided not to side with EU. Interesting. Sally, you seem to know a lot about this story. That's so interesting. That's super interesting. Okay. Yes, it was. So Russia said, hey, you have a new president, and the new president does not like Russia. So how about this island is actually ours, all right? This land is actually ours. There's a lot of words about land. What did Ukrainians do to keep warm during the winter protest? They kept protesting even during winter. They stayed indoor. They said, okay, I think I'm going to stay home because it's so cold outside. They built fires in Maidans, support from the government, or they left the country. They said, okay, you know what? You can have all of Ukraine. I'm leaving the country, actually. Which one is correct? B. All right. I'm a political science graduate. Wonderful, Sally. Wonderful. You can enlighten us in the chat with something that we probably don't know. So if you have anything you want to add, you want to share with us, please share it in the chat. Would be more than happy to hear that. I'm always interested in political sciences, though I'm a dead loss. You know, when we say someone is a dead loss, means he doesn't understand anything about a topic. For me, I'm a dead loss in politics. I'm a dead loss, meaning, so dead loss, the word dead loss means you don't understand anything. In politics, I am a dead loss. Your teacher is a dead loss in politics. So, Sally, if you want to enlighten us, I'm here to learn. I'm here to learn. Yes, built fire. Or let's go into this one. I want to end with this vocabulary because I don't want to go into the chapter 2 because I have other experiments. So I have 5 words for you again from one of the chapters. Probably we're not going to listen to it. I'm not sure. Betray, echo, flee, peninsula, and sanctions. So, and of course, on the side, on the right, you have 5 definitions. So, which definition goes with which word? Dead lost. Zelina says, no way, you know a lot. A little, not in politics, to be honest. In politics, I will be honest with you guys. In politics, I consider myself very naive in politics. I can trust politicians. Sometimes I actually can trust them. All right, to betray is 2. All right. 2 is 1, meaning echo is 1. Sanol says 2 is 1. Sanctions is 4. All right, you guys are doing a great job in the chat. Shiraz says number 3. So number 3, wait, because the messages keep going up very fast. Number 3, meaning to flee, is number 5, meaning to escape. I see. I've called them. Oh, all right. I see. Jalila says number 5, meaning sanctions, are number 4, meaning penalties. Yes, yes, exactly. All right. Let's check. Let's check. Yes. So great. So to betray someone or to betray your country, someone trusts you and you break that trust. That's called betrayal. In some countries, by the way, a betrayal, the punishment for betrayal is death. All right, that sentence. Echo. An echo normally is when you go to a cave and you say something and that sounds keep repeating. That's what we call an echo. All right. Flee. This is the word that we have seen. Flee is to run away. To run away. For example, a country, you can run away. A peninsula. Let me show you what is a peninsula. I want to show you a picture, actually. So if you can give me a little bit of time. Okay, I think this is a good image of a peninsula. If you can give me a little bit of time, I'm just going to show you some pictures of a peninsula so you can understand. A peninsula is not completely an island, okay? It's kind of an island, but it connects to the land, to the mainland. All right, like I'm gonna show you two pictures of a peninsula. All right, yes, this is also a peninsula. Okay, so peninsula, as I said, is a land. So it's like this. So it's almost an island, but it connected with land. We call that a peninsula. Okay, uh, and a very famous peninsula is actually Italy. Italy and even Spain. So Italy, it's kind of an island. So it's going out of land. It's going out of Europe. It's extended, but it's not cut from Europe completely. It's still attached to Europe. That's what we call a peninsula. That's number 4. Sanctions. Sanctions. When a country does not respect a certain agreement, they penalize it. They kind of punish it. So sanctions are kind of penalties, kind of punishment, but for a country. Maybe, for example, they will cut connection with that country. So they won't give it products, etc. So that's what we call sanctions. Penalties imposed to force a country to change its behavior or to change its decision. Imagine a country decided to do something, so other countries will stop and will cut their relationship with that country. No food, no oil, nothing for that country. So that country needs to change its policies. Let's try to use these words. And let me see if you guys can see well. All right. Learned. Deja vu. All right. Deja vu and echo. Not Spain, but Spain apart. Exactly. Exactly. Thank you, Tito, for the correction. Spain and Portugal. I completely agree with you. The Iberian Peninsula, Tito. Awesome. I have Sally in politics, and then I have Tito now in geography. You guys are teaching me. I would not participate in the war if I found out that my politicians were getting rich from lobbying on behalf of the company machine. No, that's not all, man. What are you talking about? I completely agree with you, Victor. So this is Victor's answer about the question I asked earlier. Would you go and fight for your country if your politicians decide to go to war? He say, hey, we want to fight that other country. Would you love to go to war with us? Can you solve for me this little exercise, guys? So betray, we want to use these words, okay? Betray, echo, flee, peninsula, sanctions. The sounds of gunfire seem to betray, echo, flee. Arsenal says echo. Number 1. Number 2, he says flee. Arsenal, unfortunately, Amin is not here for you today. You guys will be racing if Amin was here. But now you are doing a great job, of course. Mr. Sergio, hey, first welcome, and you say flee is for number 2. Shiraz says 1 is echo, 2 is flee, and 3 is betray. Okay, let's try to check the words. So 1 is echo. Many families had to flee. So when there is a country, a lot of people run away. I'm sorry, it looks like it's down. Sorry for that. But number 2 is flee. Number 3, the leader's decision to side with the enemy. To side with someone is to like be with someone. So if you side with someone, you are with them. So to side with the enemy means to be with the enemy. Number 3, betray. If of course, if you support the enemy of your country, that's called betrayal. Number 3, Crimea is a. What did you guys say? Because you answered number 1, 2, 3, and 4. What is Jalila? Number 4, peninsula for Jalila. Number 4, peninsula. Shiraz is the same. Labredi. 1 is A. I think you're talking about the previous one. Sanctions number 5. Shiraz. Jalila says number 5 is sanctions as well. Stand with him exactly. To side with someone. Yeah. Okay, wonderful. So 4 is indeed peninsula. I'm sorry, I don't know why the words are like that. Several countries imposed economic sanctions, of course, on Russia after the invasion of, or after the war on Ukraine. I want to skip, guys. I'm so sorry. I want to skip to. I want to skip. Okay, here. I want to skip here. Let's go to this one. Yeah, this is a question I want to ask you guys. Are protests an effective way to create change? Because we have seen in the chapter we listened to that Ukrainians, when they did not like the decision of their president not to sign the paper, they started protesting. But the government used violence against them and they killed people. So do you think that protests are an effective way to create change? What do you guys think? Betray is exactly. So if you betray your country, that's called treason. That's called, and it is punished by death. I'm the first one to finish because I mean, not exactly. You guys are always like racing. 4 out of 4 for Sally. That's a very good one. Yeah, that's 10 out of 10. It is. We changed our government by protest. It is. We changed. Which country again? Can you remind me? For Ukraine, yes, they changed their country just by protesting. Yeah, they definitely did that. And of course, you can still answer the question that I asked before. Bangladesh, okay. In the democratic countries, maybe. I really, really love this answer. I love this answer. In democratic countries, for sure. In the EU, yeah, sure. In other countries where democracy is just a myth, they will deal with protests in a very different way. I completely agree with that. Yeah, that's totally summarizes it. It is a way to make changes, but people must know they could be killed. I live in Venezuela. Yeah. As I said, some countries like they start using violence. If you, and that's the problem, because your government can sometimes make a decision, but you as the people, the citizens, you don't agree with that decision. And so if you protest, that's just you expressing your opinion. Hey, I don't like this decision. I don't think it's gonna have a positive outcome. But some governments, they will say no, you are forced to accept what we like. The civilians way to say no, exactly. Exactly. It's the civilized way to say no. Yeah, completely. I think North Korea. Absolutely not, man. That's not happening. That's not happening anytime soon. That's not gonna happen, and we all know that. We all know that. Yeah, it's very interesting. Shiraz. Protests can create change, but often it leads to violence. Shiraz is from Tunisia, and we can all remember what happened in Tunisia and in all over the world. the Arabic world. I mean, in 2011. Shiraz, right? I think you have what happened in Tunisia in your mind when you said that. I would say because yeah, people were protesting. They did not like the government, but the government started like attacking people. No, that's not right. But also Europe push Ukraine to do that. Can you elaborate, Sally? Sally, you are doing a great job. Yeah, yeah. Shiraz says yes, exactly, exactly. Unfortunately, in Morocco, the same happened. By the way, in Morocco and in a lot of other countries, people went to. What's even more scary is that a lot of countries they will send you to jail, and they will tell you that's disobedience. Protests can be effective in the government feels that the people are powerful and they mean business. Yeah, and also if the government knows that people are educated, and yeah, in China and Russia and Arab countries, protests may lead to civil war. Exactly, and that's by the way, that's what happened in Russia as well. No, Ahsanal, you are still writing it incorrectly. That's Syria how we write it. That's how we write Syria, man. Uh, that's what happened in Ukraine as well. Some people wanted to be with you with Russia, and some people want to be with the EU. Uh, chaos everywhere. Chaos. All right, I think you want to write chaos. I have a very interesting answer. I have a very interesting answer. Shiraz says I was engaged, meaning she was protesting, but she regretted it. Can you tell us, Shiraz, why? If that's possible, I would love to hear. You said that we said that protesting is a way for the people to say, "Hey, we don't like this." Shiraz is from Tunisia, and there were some protests in Tunisia, and she said she participated and she now regrets. I would love to hear why, please. I would love to hear why. By the way, for me too, I'm a teacher. I'm a teacher in Morocco, and we have been protesting last year. I don't regret it though, because I was talking about or I was defending my right as a teacher in Morocco, because that's my job. And they wanted to change the law in Morocco. So I did not like that. And with hundreds of thousands of teachers in Morocco, we said no. And that was our way to change the laws again. Because they wanted to make us slaves, basically. Shiraz, I'm gonna wait for your answer. Of course, if it's possible, if it's not possible, you can say I don't want to discuss this, and of course you can move on. Let us end with a little exercise, by the way, guys. Yeah. Okay. So let's end with this exercise. It's a grammar exercise. Past simple tense, fill in the blanks with the correct past simple form of the verbs in parentheses. We wanna end on good terms, okay? We wanna end with something that is completely neutral. Grammar is completely neutral. In 2014, everything in Ukraine began to change. So in the past, so begin in the past. Ukrainians dream of joining the European Union again in the past simple. Thousands of people gather in Maidan Square to protest. Past simple, the government sent police to stop the protests, and by February 2014, President Yanukovych flee the country. Okay, great. Sergio says, in Venezuela, many citizens are not agree with the government and don't believe on the opposition, but there is no a good option. Unfortunately, in a lot of countries, that's the deal. You want to protest, but even the options that you have are not good. Begun, dreamed, okay, dreamed, begun, okay. Sally said begun. Okay, I have two forms here: dreamed and dreamed. Let me do this so that I can change. I can like write in front of you guys. Okay. Let me do this. Let me do this. Okay, I hope you can see well. So the first verb is begun, like you guys said. So this is the past simple form of begin. It's begun. Okay. Dream, dreamed. So in dream, we say dreamed with ed or dreamt with the t. So both of these are correct. So again, I want to write this here. Gathered. Gather is a regular verb, so we simply add ed. Send. Let me see what you guys said for send. Send. What did you guys say? Yes, great. Shiraz, let me just finish this exercise and I'm going to come to read your answer. Sent and fled. Sergio also says sent. Okay, perfect. And fled. Okay, yeah, you guys are completely correct. So sent, sent, and finally fled. Fled like this. Perfect. All right, wonderful job. Yeah, let us finish with Shiraz's answer. Jalila, wonderful, sent for number 4 or number 4. Yeah, number 4. Okay, Shiraz, process for dignity and freedom, but our standard of living was much better. I agree. Before the revolution, we lost many gains. The most important being security, safety, and a decent life. That's so sad, but unfortunately, that's the reality of a lot of Arab countries. Let me tell you something. My aunt used to go from Morocco to Tunisia to work, and during the Arab Spring, the so-called Arab Spring, she lost her job, and she had to come back. So a lot of people lost their jobs in Tunisia. I completely agree with you. Uh, I've never been to Tunisia, but I could hear that there was a lot of prosperity before the protests, before the so-called Arab Spring. Yeah, but it's very unfortunate. It's very unfortunate. It's very unfortunate. Yeah, I'm sorry for that. I hope things will go back to normal very soon. I want to end with this. It's a little reminder of our beautiful website, wooenglish.com. You can see the link on the top, and the website is you can find, like as I said, as I always say, you can find free ebooks. You can look using your level. You can go to starter, for example. If you are just beginning to learn English, can go to starter. We are trying to update and put as many books as possible. So for example, Tom's Big Day Out, this is a starter. Behind the Crown, the Mystery Love. Okay, you can go here. Okay, you can go here, for example, Anna's secret letter. You can go and you can see that already like 1,200 people downloaded the book, 3,400 people read it online. So you can either read it online, or you can read it, or you can download it on your phone by clicking on this. And that's how we end this live stream. Yeah, let's see. Exactly. Yeah, I completely agree, Sally. I completely agree. Unfortunately, it's even like different opinions, and people will never agree. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much. The live stream was a great success today. I'm very happy. I expected the opinions to be much more divided today, but you guys did a wonderful job. You were so engaged. I really love it. Let me see Sergio first. Wait, guys, wait. Sergio has something to say. Many thanks for your classes. It was very magnificent. I really appreciate it. Assalamu alaikum. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. A lot of countries who they rely on borrowing the money of their economic, they wanted to be proactive by passing the laws. I really hope to visit Tunisia, Shiraz. It is on my checklist. Let's sacrifice for their own freedom and equality, for creating like the protests, and that usually followed by some changes. A lot of countries they rely on borrowing the money for their economic change. Okay, perfect, wonderful. Okay, thank you so much, guys. Have a good night. Thank you so much for today's live stream. It was amazing today.